came home from the war in '46. You opened up an advertising agency. What was the draw to advertising? Why did you want to be there?
I guess my genes, really. I mean, I'm lucky in the sense that I'm good with ideas, and I just got in the world of advertising, public relations. I could do well because I can come up with ideas.
And you did. You came up with an idea for Jackie Robinson. He was one of your first potential clients. Well, the sportswear company was. What happened with Jackie Robinson?
Actually, life intruded in the sense that we just weren't ready. This manufacturer put out Jackie Robinson T-shirts. The nation just wasn't ready for Jackie Robinson T-shirt. And it's odd because 10 years later, Tiger Woods is making $10 million in endorsements. So Jackie Robinson came a bit too early, but it was a thrill because I wanted to be a sports writer early, and I had been at Coogan's Bluff and the Polo Grounds for 2 years. So Robinson was my first client.
And you were a baseball lover, and so of course one time you used "Take Me Out to the Ball Game" or a motif of "Take Me Out to the Ball Game." It got you into some trouble. What happened?
Yes, it did, but it also made a friend for me. Actually, I ran an ad for Eileen Sportswear, and we used the lyrics of "Take Me Out to the Ball Game." And I get a call from somebody, and I get a letter which says I used the lyrics of the song without authority, and I have to pay $1 per copy. It was the New York Times, circulation $1 million. $1 million? No way. So I went to my lawyer and said, call this fellow Jerry Vogel. I call on the phone, and this is his voice. The old songs are the best songs. He sings to me on the phone. I said, hello, I'm Jerry Vogel. I said, I'm Richard Gilbert. I've been waiting for your call. I went down to visit him, and he was in Tin Pan Alley. He had his own office there. He was a song publisher, and he owned the rights to Take Me Out to the Ball Game with a lot of old standards. And he told me I had used the thing illegally, and he was going to sue me. And I said, Jerry, I didn't mean anything by it. The other thing I wanted to say, he had boxes of candy packed from the floor to the ceiling. And I said, what's all that candy? He said, well, I sent it to hospitals all around the country. I'm the candy man. And I run the big show at Bellevue Hospital for the children. And I figured, see, now I'm going to get to this guy. And I said, Jerry, I'll tell you, what I'd rather do, Jerry, let me give you some money for your candy, and let me design your flyers that you send out to agencies. So he sat down, he started talking to me, and I said, Jerry, I tell you what I'll do. I'm sorry I used the lyrics of the song, and I'm willing to work out something. He said, cost you $1,000. I said $200. He said $250. I agreed. So he said it cost me $250, and I said I'm entitled to a tour of this place. And he took me through his office in the Tin Pan Alley. He goes into one room, lights up the wall, and there are all the pictures of Rogers, Hammerstein, Gershwin, Ira, George, all the legendary songwriters. And he had published those books. He was the publisher for Cohen,
George M.
Grand
Cohen,
Old Flag. And Jerry and I became friends in a way. And for 20 years after that, he would send out, listen, he found out what your birthday was. Every year he'd send out a birthday card. Every year I'd send him a check. And Jerry and I became good friends. And 20 years later, I went back to see him. And he had changed, naturally, but he was so sane in many ways. And I remember when I left him, I got in the elevator, and some stupid thing was saying, the old songs are the best songs. Did a little dance. Got downstairs, people looked at me strange. And then Jerry, unfortunately, passed away. I went to his funeral, and the New York Times ran a long, big open on Jerry. But they called him Larry Vogel. And then the next day they corrected it, and I made it. But again, that was one of the incidents in business, unexpected and fun.
Yeah. You changed how people get to buy their opera tickets.
Yes. Again, Marjorie and I used to subscribe to the opera. You have to go. 7 operas was the repertoire you have to take if you wanted to see the opera. Frightfully expensive. And I said to her, this is crazy. If you're going to try to replenish the audience, how do you get young people to go to the opera? Not to buy 7 tickets, but why can't they buy a short series, a duet, a trio, a quartet? So I went to Al Hubay, the head of the box office. He said the logistics are impossible. At the time, Garen Gentler had just replaced Rudolph Bing at the opera, and Heron was a very modern kind of fellow. And I told him, he said, "That's a great idea, Al. Next season I want you to try to set that up." Next season they set up a series where the Metropolitan offered duets, trios, and quartets. That literally saved their box office that year, and now it's a key part of their marketing, key part of their selling. But not only Metropolitan Opera, the City Opera across the way, the Philharmonic across the way, the Los Angeles Symphony, any place you go, you see today they sell short subscriptions. And it all happened, believe it or not, when I gave that idea to Metropolitan Opera, and it was picked up by other culture institutions around the country. It's one of the happy incidents that can happen when you have an idea.
George Jensen Jewelers.
George Jensen.
They lost their silver plate in front of their building.
Yes, they did, and crazy thing, we got a George Jensen account. They had 52nd Street and 5th Avenue. They had a 5-story building there, and they had a big sign, they had 2 silver signs outside, and we did an ad for them, came back on Monday morning, and one of the signs missing. And somebody had stolen the sign, so that's when Don McKay wrote this big ad, which said, you know, the person who stole our sign, bring it back. It wasn't silver anyway. We'll give you a real piece of silver to put in your den or something. Nothing happened. But when the Jensen, the important thing with Jensen, that was a fun ad. But Jorgen Jenk, who headed the store, was a wonderful man, and he sponsored doing work in Appalachia. He worked with deprived people to make stuffed animals. And he was very impressed with the quality of the work. So he decided, Christmas 1969, I want to advertise, maybe we'll shoot stuffed teddy bears rather than our usual silver plate settings for Christmas. He gave us a teddy bear. I gave it to Don McKay and Dick Levy, the top creative team, and the rest was history, because they came back with an ad. They took the teddy bear, they put a black armband on the teddy bear with the headline, "Some Toys Hit." This was 69, the height of the Vietnam War. That particular ad brought in the greatest response of any ad I've ever run. Hundreds and hundreds of letters. Every teddy bear in the window was sold. Posters were printed and reprinted. We took the word peace with the teddy bear and the armband and made that the New Year's card that year. But of all the calls, one call came from Senator Charles Goodell, U.S. Senator of New York State, U.S. Senator, United States Senator of New York State, who was sponsoring citizens with S-3000 to end the war in Vietnam. And he said, "Will we serve as a volunteer agency?" And I said, yes. We did a series of ads for him. That then led to a much larger coalition, which became the McGovern, Hatfield,
Church,
Goodell, Cranston, Hughes Amendment to End the War. In 1971, that passed. In 1971, the Cooper Church Amendment passed, forbidding sending soldiers to Cambodia. In 1971, the Pentagon Papers were printed. In 1973, the Paris Peace Talks were signed. And as far as I'm concerned, our teddy bear got an honorable discharge. It was an incredible experience in business.
Your name is on the book, but you didn't do this by yourself. Tell us how you met your wife, Marjorie.
That is true. Marjorie's, in fact, the dedication says, "I was born Richard, but I'm really known as Richard and Marjorie." And the better half made the other half a whole lot better. In 1946 or 1947, Sunday mornings I was a good basketball player, and I used to go to Fort Tryon Park where the cloisters are, and I played basketball. And once I went up there, and this very attractive girl comes up, and she's shooting basketball by herself, and very pretty girl. And I sat next to a woman there, gray-haired woman. I said, "That girl is very pretty, you know." And I said, "She's very good." She said, "I know, she's my daughter." And I probed her, I got her name and everything else, and I called her at home and I said, "I was playing basketball next to you last week, and I'd like to meet you and see." And she totally ignored me, wasn't interested at all. But I said, "I happen to have tickets for a Saturday afternoon doubleheader at Madison Square, would you like to go?" Well, she relented, she said, "Okay." And I quickly hung up. I didn't want her to change her mind. She went out shopping that Saturday morning with her sister, and she was saying, came back, "Why did I ever accept that date? I hardly know this kid, he was stupid. Maybe if we stay out, he'll leave." I got to her apartment, 729 West 186th Street at 12 o'clock, rang the bell, there was nobody there. I didn't want to miss the game, so I put a big note on the door that said, "What happened?" Signed it, and took off. I went to the 186th Street subway stop, the train came in the station, and like an invisible hand grabbed the back of my head and pulled me off the train. went back to the apartment, rang the bell. Now I'm in a suit, not the kid on the basketball court. I had a tie, a jacket, coat. I looked very nice. Opened the door, and there's Margie. She saw me, said, "Won't you come in?" That was 59 years ago. It's really a nice story and a true story. What else, Miss? Yeah.
That's it, and we
That's how
thank
we
you,
wanna close.
Richard. You are absolutely marvelous. Once again, here's the book, available in all bookstores, on Amazon, and from Baylor Publications. Richard, you rock.
What if they go in the bookstores where it's not on the shelf? They
can order it.
for you?
They can order it.